Oh, wow. I do not know what's going on. I mean, I've got a gaming computer. I know that my speed is good. We just did a full restart. We've got this delayed reaction. I'm going to let it go here for just a minute. And of course, I've got Homer up there having a cow over something. Okay. I don't understand those. I don't have any extra lighting. So I don't know. I may have to switch cameras. This is really delayed. Can you hear me okay? Hey, Diana, you're out there. Hello. Are you able to hear me okay? Because I think if you can hear me okay, I think we'll go ahead and move forward. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that as a good that you can. I don't know what this lighting is. It's not lighting. That's something in my camera. Sound is perfect. Then let's go ahead and let me go ahead and reopen my blinds. And I do apologize for that weirdness of the lighting. I don't know what's causing it because whether the blinds are open, blinds are closed, I moved the lights, we got it. So thanks for bearing with me right here for a moment. Let's turn that off. And we'll just go with it. Technology, you gotta love it, but we hate it, right? We are going to start with the cover. And then we're going to move on to decorating the inside as long as our camera behaves. And I'm just going to have to say it's, hold on. I'm going to mute you for a minute. I want my husband to see this. Okay, we're going to go with it. He said it's more than likely the computer, so my son will look at it. And what we're going to do, we'll go ahead and go through it. And since the sound is great, I'm going to do another tutorial tonight. Not a tutorial, a live. I want to show you some paper anyway, and I want to see if there's a difference. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to do the cover. All of this right here. This is going to probably turn out different than what I did here. We're going to use our scraps, so it's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and last tutorial, we had already pulled out our main sheet. So I'm going to set this aside. And I had cut into the presents, but I have enough that this will cover the front. Then I'm going to do something a little different on the front. Yeah, and you know what? We switched internet companies to get a higher speed for what we're doing. Yeah, good luck there, right? I brought this to this edge, and then I noticed, see this, even though I sewed it, we've got some just little things that bug me. So I'm going to actually take our piece, not cut it, I'm going to wrap it. And we're going to see how well that does. And so I'll just do that a little different. Yeah, I've never had this happen. And then I had the 3x4s that were left over. You probably have a full sheet. If you need to take it from there, I'll give you the measurement. And then if you remember, I even inked this. I cut it too short, which was good because it's going to go on the front cover. We're just going to do some layering. And this will be what I put on top. And definitely you can change what you use. But let's get started. And I do zigzag, and I'm going to do the sewing. So what I want to do first is cut what's going to go right down on the album. And I'm going to cut this at, oh, I got something on here, 7 1/4. I had some little grandkids crafting the other day, which I just love. And it looks like maybe somebody had some paint or chocolate on her fingers. And that's where this spray comes in handy. So I'm sorry. I'm getting started. I know, but on the recording, you guys can pass right through all this. I always tell you I'm going to be better and be more organized, but it's not going to happen. So I try to have everything ready before I go live. Okay. I'm going to cut my length first. Hi, Mary Jo. Long time no see, it seems like. I'm going to cut this at 8 3/4. Do I want 8 3/4? Let's double check, but I think I do. I want it. Yeah. No. 8 7/8. 8 7/8. By 7 1/4. I knew that was right. But we're going to double check. Seven 3/8. Always wait till I double check before you cut. So 7 3/8 by 8 3/8. That's going to give the 1/8 of an inch. You can have the 1/4 of an inch if you like that better. The snow, we're supposed to get more snow, but it's 40 today, so it's going to melt. And if you're just joining, there's a big delay. And oh, you can't get the hang of them, Diane? Oh, you just got, I know, I guess it just depends on how much you're going to practice. I love them now. I absolutely love them. You got to remember to hold it down, though, because you don't have a bar here. Okay, this one, I'm going to make my first cut at 7. And then 8 1/2. Oh, don't put them in the box. Hold it. There you go. Let's go ahead and put this aside for right this moment. It did, Diana. It took me a little bit playing with it, and I had to just really play with it at the store, and now I just love them. So that is going to be my base. I am going to zigzag. And again, if you don't want to sew this, that's fine. But before I sew it, I want to show you each layer that I put down. I did end up, I stitch it before I put it on the book, and then I stitched here, zigzag. And again, you don't have to. I absolutely love sewing on it because one thing is my first love is sewing, and I can't get away from it. So I just decided do it. Sew it. Let's get that sewing machine working. Now, before I do, if you remember, we have the stripe that I put across, and it is, I'm going to have to add some more glue. So I thought maybe this top layer of green, I'm going to wrap it. I'll show you. I don't glue them. I don't like glue. I'm just going to put a piece of score tape in the middle. The reason I don't like glue it, if it's when it dries, it's kind of hard on your needle. And then if it's wet and you get your needle all gummed up, it's a mess. Well, you just throw the needle away or you take it off, clean it. So I'll show you what I do there. But I want to go ahead and I'm going to wrap this. But first, I do have to put this underneath. And then I'm going to wrap it on top. So I'm going to kind of give you the measurements, what I did from our red. And really, it does not have to be exact. It was 7/8 of an inch from there, 7/8 of an inch from the side to the red, and 7/8 of an inch to the top. So let's just go ahead and put this down, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now, a lot of you, I just use this I use this stuff, but you may not have it. It's the repositional, and I just ordered a bunch of it for the store. So I'm going to use this, but you can use your score tape. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just lay this, because it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. I'm going to use actually, so it's 7/8 of an inch. I'm not going to use that because that might throw you off. Let's go over here. There we go. Use my side to keep it straight. Now, using the side to keep it straight, I can use my markings because that's 12. And there's my 7/8. And then there's my 1. And I'm just going to kind of estimate here. Like I said, we're not looking for perfect here. We're looking for approximate. It's repositional, so it's just going to hold it in place. Right now, I don't want to worry about the red being held in place. And then for my stripe, from the top of the red, I brought it down 2 1/4 inches. And again, if you're using your scoreboard for marking, so I'm just approximating it. Oh, before I do, I need to sew this piece on. So I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, and I'm just using a spring, wait, it's springtime here. Oh, I want the warm weather. I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to do a straight edge, just a straight stitch all the way around. I'll be right back. Oh, what? Oh, yes. What size is the light piece? Sorry, Benel. This was actually that one piece I cut too short. And so it came out to be 4 1/4 wide. 4 1/4 wide, and it's going to be the 4 1/4 wide and 7 3/4 long. So 4 1/4 wide, 7 3/4 long. And I'll give you this measurement. I'll just go sew this, and then we'll do the measurement on here. Okay, what I did here is I started in the middle on the side because I know I'm going to cover it now with paper. And then a couple of things I'm going to show you. When you're sewing paper, you might start, okay, you might get a little upset or, oh no, I'm doing it wrong. Well, hello, Homer. He comes and stands on the desk. I wish you could see him. He knows where I'm talking to somebody. He wants to say hello. The back is not going to look as pretty as it would if you're sewing clothing or fabric. And that's, I don't, that way, if you see that, you're not going to be, oh no, there's something wrong with my sewing machine. No. Depends on your sewing machine. I don't worry about the back. I've played with the tension. I have a runaway. I have a jean machine. I have like 4 sewing machines. Because I used to make wedding dresses and bells when I owned a bridal store. So don't worry, don't concern yourself with the back because it's not going to be as pretty as sewn cloth. Yes, and like Tanya said, if you don't have a sewing machine, of course, this is white, you could draw your stitches. Tanya does that a lot, and it looks so nice. If you have a sewing machine, it's just sitting there, put it to work. It will love you. I had inked this in the prior, I forgot to say, so that is inked. And let's go ahead and ink. I don't want to get that. That's our cut aparts. Go ahead now and ink the green piece. Making sure he's not going to jump. He jumps up on my table and he'll fall because there's cellophane bags. No. And this piece was that 3x4 I cut, and it is 4 by 9. So I like sewing on it too, Diana. So if you don't have this, it's 4 by 9. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly. This was just, it's just to give it a little depth, a little, you can see it under there. I just liked it. And if you don't like it, then you definitely can just leave it off. Nothing is set in stone that you have to do it exactly like this. That's the fun thing. So now I use my grids here. This is 2. And then Homer's going to get noisy for us. The white is 2 1/4. And that's, I'm going to bring it up though to 2. You want to know why I took this away? Yeah, just use your scraps. I'm telling you, Tanya is our queen of scraps, and she makes beautiful things with them. And I'm hoping she's going to do some layouts for us with this paper, because she always does. So there's 2 1/4 from the top of the red. Like I mentioned, I want to wrap this, and I want to wrap it because I think it'll look more finished, but you don't have to. If you don't want to wrap it, right now I just want it straight. So I'm using my grid. If you don't want to wrap it, it looks good too. But we need to weight now, and we're going to sew it on the red. Uh-oh, I thought it blinked out. Because we stitch it, we'll put the green down, and then we'll stitch this. Or you can stitch it all together. So I'm kind of deciding here, do I want to stitch this all together? Or stitch the green on, let's stitch the green on the red first. Now for the green on the red, I am going to use a zigzag. And I'm just going to go along the edge or anywhere you like. And I just use my basic zigzag stitch. Do a couple of those. Now, you can glue this down before you sew it. Keep inside. Just glue the inside. And then what you're going to do is let it dry. Or I would be putting score tape down. You can do score tape. But once I sew this, it will be down. I would put 3 lines of score tape in the center part and then sew it. And that's going to hold it down while you're sewing. I wanted to use this basically now just for pulling it up and down while I'm showing you different things. So now I'm going to pop over to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew it. Now, once again, because I know across the middle is going to be this paper. Oh, you know what? We can't wrap. Oh, yes, we can still wrap it because I did put it all the way across the red. So I do need to wrap it on all layers. And let's go ahead and ink the red before we do our sewing. And there's no right and wrong. Oh, good, Cheryl. You can do this in different layers. You can sew it how you want. You don't have to sew it. You can just glue it. But now I'll run over, but I'm going to start my zigzag in the middle. So I end it in the middle. And then all seams will be hidden. I mean, all threads will be hidden. Okay, I'll be right back again. No. Okay, I am back. So this time I took my stitching, which got to be a mess right here because my bottom of them caught. But you know, that's okay because no one will really see it. And then right here is I ran out of bobbins. I'm gonna have to rewind it. I'm gonna have to wind it really fast before. So I hate putting you guys on hold. I wish my sewing machine was right here, but I have to have it on the other table. And it just might get moved over here. We'll see. And yeah, using up our scraps is great. So now I went along this edge. So see, it's down. It's not going to come up. Now, this one, once again, from the top of the red was 2 1/4. And can you guys hear Homer out there howling? Whoops. Still has some sticky there. Okay, what you could do here, you can, if you don't want to wrap it, you can turn it over now and just cut it even with the base of our base page. I do too, Annie. I made tons of quilts, and paper is just so much faster. I get more satisfaction quickly out of paper. But I still love to sew. I've still got my quilt frames. I've got everything. And this is not as expensive. So when I wrap it, it's you really don't even notice. So again, it's just up to you if you want to turn it over and cut it, or if you want to go ahead and wrap it. This is going to get glued down eventually here when we put it on. So while you are getting yours all ready, I now will go ahead and sew this. I do got to wind my bobbin, so I'll be gone for a moment, but I'll be right back. Oh, goodness. Well, we had a boo-boo. Okay. One thing. Sorry, I was gone away so long. We got that done. Yes. Well, here's one thing. When you are sewing on paper, you will need to change your needle more often. Mine broke right here, but at least it's going to be covered with my shaker. So it broke, and I won't take the time to fix it because I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was out of thread, but right here it broke. And I'll just add some glue. I do need to redo my workspace. And I think I will go ahead and get the sewing machine added over here. So those of you that are new are new to sewing paper. I don't know, I think most of you sew. I mean, that's just something we are crafters. Okay. My shaker will cover this, so I'm not worried, or a chipboard. And you probably can't even see it. It's just that little spot. Can you see her? Well, I was gone. Diana, I was sewing this piece on. Can you see me now? We're making a commercial. Can you see me now? Just kidding. Just kidding. Grab your cover. Oh, you know what? I am going to have to go over and fix that needle because I sewed everything else. Gosh, I'm so sorry. If my husband was here, but he's out playing on his tractor with a friend, he would be fixing that for me. Now, if you remember the inside front cover, we put this to the back. This is going to go down. And right now it looks a little funky because we got to put all our decorations on. Oh, Emily, hi. That's awesome. How fun. We are going to add our art glitter glue or whatever adhesive. I add the glue right to my stitching. Along my big stitching, my big zigzags. Now we kind of have to work fast. This is our glitter glue. You know how quickly it dries. Yeah, if you can go to the well, we have DIs here. You guys, thrift stores. Oh goodness, come on. Or even, Walmart has some good. They used to have just good little machines that are good starter ones. But who knows nowadays the cost of stuff. And that's the problem. My sewing machine isn't super portable. It's over with my serger. Oh, I've cut 2 times the wrong size. Oh, I had coffee before I started. Because I knew I needed that little boost. And my super beets. We eat super beets. Love super beets. Okay, I'm holding my corners. Now we need to do before we add our shaker, because we need to work on the rest of our cover, right? I want to I'm going to cut my hinge in just a minute. We're going to work this glue around first. And I am using the blunt end. I don't know what my little beagle is up there. Yes, well, I've got a few brothers. I use the brother runway down here just for my paper because I've got a brother professional jean. I have three machines. See, and sewing was very expensive. Then every time a new sewing machine comes out, you want to go run and see it, right? My husband said, "Oh no, no, no." Plus my sergers. I do want a new serger. And but not right now. Because then I'll start sewing a lot. And I have to do paper. I don't feel so bad when I mess up on paper. Okay, so anywhere that you need a little, or you see things aren't quite down, let's go ahead and add some more glue as we're working. Oh, you have a genome. Oh, yeah, Genome has some really nice sewing machines. Okay, I think we're pretty secure now. One thing, I have sewn on chipboard with my jean machine. It's a Genome, and it's one that was used up at the college. And then what happens is the colleges, I don't even know if they teach that anymore. They would sell them, and they have sewing machine cells. So that's where I got my heavy duty one. And when I should get it out because you can sew through the chipboard. So this looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now let's go ahead and do the hinge. For the hinge, I did use the stripe, and that you should have, yeah, you've got pieces of this. You know what? I do use a larger needle. Um, it is a denim needle, but you know what? I think it's getting worn out. I sew on paper a lot with it. But here's the thing with the bigger needle to remember. The bigger needle will make bigger holes. So if you don't like that, I wouldn't use my embroidery machine. I have an embroidery machine too, and I will not use it for this. It will make bigger holes. So you can get a heavy duty needle. It doesn't have to be a jean. It can be heavy duty. Yep, heavy duty. Okay, I want to go ahead and grab this piece that was left when we cut the front. And let's get into our scraps because I'm looking for another one of the candy striped ones. And I need my other bag. And it's going to come from your 3x4s. So this is my last 3x4s. If you don't want to cut into it, you don't have to, but you're not going to have to cut much because our spine is what, 3.5. So I don't want to cut all of these. I know we used this. We've already used this from our other one. So I'm going to cut this at 3.5. Perfect fit. I'll show you in a moment. And oh yeah, Annie, what size stitch length do you use? I use a 2.5, so I'm curious. Okay, our album covers 9, so let's go ahead and cut this at 8 7/8. Okay, now for the center, again, I wanted more of our candy stripe because it matched here. Oh, so I cut the green at 2 5/8. 2 5/8 wide, 8.5 long. Again, I am just looking at my markings here. if you're new to using the Caterpillar hands, have to hold it down, which it's not a problem at all. And 8.5 long. And then it gives us all that pretty stripe on the side. Now, another thing you can do, you can actually wrap a piece of chipboard and pop this up and give it dimension if you don't want to sew it down. So a lot of fun things you could do, or you can back it again and pop it up so it's dimensional. Looks really cute. I'm going to do that on our next one. I'm going to be doing in March the smaller December daily, which is going to be nice for those of you that don't do a lot of photos or want something smaller. A little Homer is going to lose his voice. Up there in the garage just a howling. And you know, I really should be checking. I hope somebody's not in there robbing our garage, right? This dog's howling his little heart out, and I don't know why. Okay, once again, if you're using sport tape or glue, just go down the middle. If you're using glue, of course, let it dry. I'm just using the repositional because it's good enough, because I'm going to sew those edges down. Okay, I'm going to go put a straight stitch around my green. Yep, I'm still here, guys. Just putting a new needle on. There we go. Okay. We're all sewn. Putting on my, oh, you're my, yeah, we have to do that. I know, especially on Saturdays. I'm glad you popped in, Carolyn. So down here, I do have this little problem that it has to be fixed. If you don't fix it, it will unravel. And also remember, when this is recorded, the nice thing is you can scroll past this part if you're not sewing. Because I know there's a lot of blank space in there when doing the sewing with you guys. And then because that looks kind of awful, that's going to be a great embellishing moment. So I don't really even worry about it because I'll put something there. And the thing with live videos, you get to experience, you don't just experience the good stuff with me, you're going to experience even the boo-boos. Okay, let's a little glue around my stitching area. I remember those mama taxi days, especially when my husband was gone because he was active duty. Those were called my nap time hours. I would be the taxi, drop him off, piano lessons, went football, and I'd stay in the car and sleep. That's where my love of naps came. Okay, let's make sure that is all down now. Once that is completely down, let's do the back. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute to kind of show you what I've done. And we're going to have a base piece. I can't really pull it up here. And what I did is I used one of the pattern papers, the solids under here. And you can use just about anything you want. Your base, you can make it, so if you made your album black, you can use another piece of black. But I used our coordinating here because it was lighter in weight. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it the size of our album cover. And our album cover is going to be 7, well, it is 7.5, not going to be, it is. And you may have tons of other ways that you already know how to do this. So if you are new and never done this, so I'm going to cut it 7 3/8 by 7 3/8 by 8 7/8. You may have definitely a different way that you like to do it, and that's okay. If you're new to piecing, it's really fun, and it's really a fun way to use your scraps. So I want to grab my bag that has all the scraps, and I'll be honest with you, for this, I wasn't really concerned about the size. So as you can see, this is going to be pretty much, well, pretty different than, oh, that's a nice little one. It's going to be different than the one that I've used as my sample because my scraps are a little bit different. I'm just going to grab, oh, that's a good one. Things like that are good. That's why you save them until you're done, and then they can go in the garbage after that. Or you can make a whole bunch of these and just set them aside. Now, I like to go smaller. So what I'm doing is kind of just grabbing a bunch of different pieces. So I got to grab a code for the store. Because they're working. And we're playing. We get to play. Yeah. Oh, Myrna, your work is amazing. I would just love to sit down and craft with you and learn. Oh my gosh, Myrna's work is, I'll bet you do. You probably use all your scraps, don't you? Oh my gosh, Myrna's work, I can't tell you how amazing it is. If you ever get anything from her, it's like it's a treasure. These are good little pieces. And I know this is a big piece, but I really want the polka dots in there. And so it is a fabulous way. Actually, if I was just using my scraps, I would take a 12 by 12 because then I would make my own 12 by 12 papers. And I've done that. I did that with that Graphic 45. Remember the black and white and orange album? We did a bunch. So take your scraps and then set them aside, and you can cut them as you need them. And what's fun? Oh, they always turn out different. You never know what you're going to get. So I'm going to cut that off. We don't need it. Like I said, I'm not concerned, and I'm going to be overlapping. So that kind of goes that way. I didn't do any that went this way. We're just going to play. We're literally going to just play. It's overlapping. That's okay. We don't care at this point because we're going to do a lot of cutting off. The thing is, we want to kind of build a lot of green together. And yeah, I will be cutting it off, but I'm going to use it. I just want a stripe of it to come down. I don't want a whole bunch. I may decide this is too long. I'll bring that up a little. And so I'll bring this one up a little too because I want more at the bottom. So we will be then cutting off what we don't want to use. Again, you may have a different method because when you do this, there's really no right. There's no right and there's no wrong. That's the fun thing. So kind of keep to the middle because we can overlap what we don't want to use on the sides as we're going. Now, I've even got a plain piece. We don't want plain. Again, that pattern's the wrong way. We gotta have plaid. Cut this one off a little bit. Once we get things organized, I will be inking all of our edges. Now, like, that's a nice big piece, but I'm just going to cut it. I am not measuring when I'm cutting. I'm just cutting to what looks good. Yours is going to look different than mine, and that's okay. Oh, wow, almost. That would be pretty there. And, oh, we've already used it. Actually, I'm going to have that one stick over. And because I want, oh no, I don't, because that's going to put that way off. So I'm going to keep it here. And it would be, it's okay too if you have it overlapping there. Grab my pencil. I will make it just a hair long because things aren't going to go back exactly right. And we don't have to worry about any of the inking on the edges, but we kind of want to ink the insides if you want. So what I'm going to do, I know this takes a little extra time. Oh, but you guys, it is so worth it. And then I'm just going to ink around all the edges, trying to keep them in order. We will be re-inking after we get everything down all along the edge. I'm not sure, but I think they're watching the live in the store. My son just texted me, so if you're watching in the store today, we all say hi. I'd love to be there, but I'm playing with my friends. This is more fun. No, it's not. Actually, it's not more fun. I love being in the store, and we had one of our customers. She's so sweet. Came in. We made a box together, and it was just great. It's just really nice being able to be there and have you guys come in. Just love it. Okay. So I want to keep everything kind of close to the edge if I can. And you know what? I just noticed we need to bring that over. That's not going to work. We're going to have it. No, we're not. There we go. Things have to kind of come together. Oh my gosh, my daughter must be out shopping. She found some really cute 1950s. So if you're coming to the 1950s retreat here in Utah, get ready. All right. Here. Like I said, this isn't going back exactly the way it was put together because this doesn't go there. Need to move these guys over. So we're just going to be playing. Then I'll be using, and you'll be able to just take a dot of your glue and dot each one as they're in place. Okay, come way over. It's going to be on the edge. Just going to get everybody worked back in. And Wilbur's going to snore. I'm just going to push this up a little and make everything fit. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's what mine's going to look like. Now what we want to do is either with the dotted glue, it doesn't matter, holding it down. Voila. I guess I didn't get a dotted glue, did I? I'm going to stick you on there. Again, my bottoms are even. Literally, I'm just throwing some glue in place. And this is why I wanted to use the red back in case we have a little tiny space. It won't matter. I think I really did something wrong here. So it looks like we may be adding, did I lose a piece? Chip this down. And when you're doing this, really don't worry about perfection. Because as you can see, we're not perfect. And that's okay. So I will now stick another little piece here. Oh, we forgot this little guy, didn't we? He was supposed to go down. So we changed our, oh, that's okay. And then we're not going to move that. It's going to be just fine. Okay, so one thing, you can definitely, if you want to sew around each one, I will be going in here in a minute and adding more of the adhesive. I didn't want to totally just glue it down until I do, because it's easier to rip one up really quick if I had to. Because I will now go back and, like I said, you're going to have your way. Yes, you know what? I used to take a picture too. And now I just don't. Now once it's okay, I'm not really worried about the outside because I'm going to sew it. So I'm just going to lift it up and add some more glue to the center. We're going to cut it here in a moment. And like I mentioned, everybody, you guys are going to have probably your own, I know you'll have your own way. It may be a better way. So don't take mine as this is how you do it. Because this is crafting. You do it any way you want. Got him pretty well down. This art glitter glue is wonderful stuff, let me tell you. Just a little bit and it's down. Now in the center, I do have a 4x4 and it covers the center and I sew that down. So that's more. Oh, that's down. Okay, let's turn it over and you can put it in your cutter or you can cut it with a blade. Okay. Oh, shoot. That's not what we want to say. Okay. So, my guide here. Using this edge because we knew it was. We don't know what it was, do we? We need to measure the album again. 7 3/8. I'm still getting used to the markings on here. I will go back and fine tune it. It's not going to be straight. Okay. And while you're doing this, if you happen to cut too much off, don't let that bother you because then you could cut it shorter and double mat. So you haven't ruined it if you accidentally cut yours too short. Then you would just take another piece of paper and double mat it. So I don't want you to, when you were doing the cutting, say, oh no, I cut it too short. Just cut it shorter and make it double matting. I think mine's too long. Nope, it's not too long. Mine's great. Okay, first thing we want to do is go sew these down. And again, you can do however you like here. In the center, we are going to add a 4x4 or a cut apart. And that was one. Oops. I'm just going to do a Sally and put everything on the floor. That was one we should have pulled. So I hope you guys still have some of your 4x4s. They are on the back of our polka dots, and you do because I set mine aside. That polka dot sheet. I'm not going to dig for it here on the camera, but you do have some 4x4s left from our polka dot sheets. And it doesn't matter which one you use. What I did is I used this in the corner, but I think on my original one, I had the Christmas tree left. And you also have these ones. So you can use one of those in the center as a 4x6. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. I'll go ahead and use my no peeking. And I have to tell you, I did cheat. So, an antique shop. Oh, of course she's in an antique shop. Oh, yes, that is gorgeous. My daughter is in an antique shop down in Salt Lake without me, you guys. No, she actually, her husband loves to antique, so he's with her. But at least she sends me and says, do you want me to buy this? Of course I do. 4x4. And it doesn't matter once again. Oh, this would look really good, but it's not big enough. Again, get into your scraps. We love the scraps, right? Oh, you know what? No, that is that one we had left. It's not big enough. So I am going to use my solids. That solid piece that I had left from when I cut the base. I'm going to cut 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is a long tutorial today. And so once we get this cover done, we aren't going, I remember I told you I was doing Monday also. I did have to change the time. Go on there and look. I had to reschedule one of my doctor's appointments with my knee because of that snowstorm we had. So I had to change it to, I think it's 1 o'clock on Monday. And we are going to, I knew that we may not get there because this is going to take a while. So we will be doing the inside Monday. Yes, you know what? A gold piece would look fabulous with this. You are so right. And I should go over there. I've got some gold paper, but not everybody does. Oh, Wendy, you're killing me. Now I want to put gold back there. Mat this with a piece of gold. Hold on. Or even white shimmer. Oh, it's silver. Oh, no, it's silver. Well, you know what? Even silver would look fabulous. This one's kind of scratched. Silver. Oh, you're killing me. Oh, I cut my finger. Monday is at 1 o'clock. And it's on. It is on the scrapbookers page. Well, let's do a makeshift band-aid here. This is called a crafter's band-aid. So Monday, just a little delay in time. I know, and I'm ordering in more of the gold because I use a lot of it too in things I give away. Okay, makeshift band-aid. Keep cutting it on paper. Hope there's no blood on this project. I got blood on the project. Okay. I think we still have gold in the store. I've got to get more in. So 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 if you want another layer, because Wendy put the idea in my brain and now I have to use it. So if you have a shimmer, so I'm kind of going off the grid here. Sorry with the tutorial. Yeah, the gold, you got to put that behind everything. So I'm just going to. Got some scratches there. And it doesn't show when you cover it. So if you want a triple mat, we've got 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, the green 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then your 4x4. So this one, I'm going to pour tape it. And I'm running all over my paper. I use lotion all the time too. Or we could just do a marathon. You guys want to just do a marathon today and decorate the inside if you want to. I don't mind. I would have to do a break and come back on. Because I'm sorry, I got to refuel. Need coffee, Band-Aids. So we could take a half-hour break and I can come back on. If you guys are already working on it and you don't want to get it out Monday, I'm good with that, actually. And we could start a new project. Okay, let's do that. I will do part 2, Elizabeth, but I do have to run up, take care of a couple things. Band-Aid, dogs, store. I've got to call them when we're off. So let's do it, guys. Okay, this is where I'm going to do my main sewing. So I'm going to use my temp so it doesn't mess with my needle. Wendy, thank you. Thank you. So if you have any gold or silver, it just makes a pop. So I'm going to go sew around the red. I need to sew around here, and I am going to come down a few of my pieces. I'll be right back. Oh, I forgot. I need to kind of glue this down. So I'm not going to sew on these. I was going to zigzag them, but with this coming into the center, I'm not. So I just kind of want to center as good as can be. Or if you don't want to sew it all, just pop it up on some foam dots or glue it down straight. Let's go sew this. Okay, that took a little bit longer. I had to go slower. We were going through a lot of layers. All right, let me get this moved over. Again, do not throw these away. You can now make a bunch of 12 by 12 sheets. And, do you know what? Oh, Diana, I don't have the exact size yet, but it is going to be smaller. It's going to be more like, the inside will be more like, the pages will be like 6 inches. They're going to be smaller. We're looking at about 6 inches, probably by 7 or 8. The second the second December day. The thing is, I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling with what paper collection to use. I know the album I want to make. It's the paper collection to use because there's not a lot out there except for Echo Park and Cartabella from Christmas. And I even looked at Minte, but we can forget that because they had to raise their shipping, and I totally understand. But and we want the embellishments and the fun stuff. So that's where I'm struggling right now. Well, they do have one, the Hearth and Home, that I just love. We're actually using the frames on here. So Hearth and Home would be, I think, yes, very nice. But isn't that pretty, you guys? And it's so different than this one. Let me show you. Different but similar. You know what I mean? It's always fun to see what's going to happen when you create this. And then I don't want it to cost a lot for you guys because I understand. So I got to talk to them and figure out what we're going to do. But I have to figure it out fast because I've got the album design and I really want to get started on it. I want to get started on it soon. All righty. This one's heavy because of my centerpiece. Those threads. Now, I know, especially if you do junk journals, you like your threads hanging out. Oh, that's one thing when I sew. When I was doing it for customers, oh my gosh, I went through it with it. I couldn't even have a thread sticking out. I was like, nope, it's got to be perfect. And I used to make, they don't do it anymore. I don't hear about them anymore. I did it a lot for the Civil War reenactments. I used to make the girls bloomers, and they would do them out, south. I haven't heard of them doing that lately. Yes, we want to do a small one so that exactly for the young married couple, it's their first Christmas together, or grandma and grandpa who just, a few pictures, or great grandma and grandpa. Now, I do want to go around, my glue tip, this edge. But like I said, I don't glue it before. So if you're wondering why, like I mentioned, I don't like it to get in my needle. It causes problems. Oh, thanks, Diane. Diana, you're so sweet. Just take your time. Okay, there we go. Now, I do want to do our shaker before we're going to come back on, but the front isn't going to take much longer from here. Let's get our shaker. So in your kit, it's in this one. you're going to want your little, you may have them in a little jar or you may have them in a bag. And you want to grab the shaker and then the card that you chose. Is that where I stuck those? You guys, we already cut those. Yeah, I did. That's the kind of morning I was having. Then I'm going to grab our chipboards. Yeah, because we're going to use some of our brads and the chipboards in this one. On this. And our package of frames and tags. And we're going to use the sleigh, reindeer, Santas, cute stuff. Okay, our shaker is in our bag. And then I did double mat. Because we're going to cut this down. As you can see, it's going to be too big. And we need to cut it down this. We're going to cut this down. We're going to cut our mats down. And so I move that aside for a minute. You have a remove protective film. I do not remove the protective film quite yet. Okay. The 3M, fold this backwards. I am just using my finger now. You can take your bone folder. Hi, Diana. Well, guess what? We're going to also do, we're going to put the shade, we're going to finish this cover. And I am actually going, I need to take a break and we're going to come back on because the consensus was everybody wants to finish today. And I don't blame you guys. So we have now we have a 5.5 once those are all folded back by 4.25 to fit inside here. So whatever you're using for a cut apart, see, that's going to just barely and nicely fit. It is too short. That is why I did the double matting. I'm not worried about here. What I'm worried about, we've got to get our length down to 5.5. So this is 6 inches. With cut aparts, I always double check because they're not exact when we cut them. So that looks good. Now we're just going to go in quarter increments, 5 3/4. Turn it around and 5.5. We want to keep it, whatever one you're using, you want to keep it symmetrical here. Now let's see if this is going to fit. It will fit that way, but we really, let's see. We want to have, see, I put a backing on it and I used polka dots. But this isn't going to be big enough this time. So we'll go through our scraps here. So we now have it 5.5. I'm going to get down to 5. And mine is 5 3/8. I'm going to take it down to 5 1/4. Okay. 4 inches. Just double check. Yep. I'm just going to take it down to 3 7/8. And then 3 3/4. Now I've got everything in dimension that I want. And we need to cut a matting. Oh, leave it here. So the mat, once again, now as you can see, we've got plenty of room for a pretty background. Polka dots, look, that's what I used before. But it didn't really come out that way this time. So I'm going through my scraps. And I do have this one, which does look good. The other one, I used the red and white polka dots. We just need something to back it on. If you like that, if you don't, we've got some Christmas lights we can use. Or let's see what we've got left over in our, you've got some sheets you haven't totally cut down yet. So this one's the colorful polka dots, which will work. Tell you what, but our stripes will work too that we've been cutting on. Oh, looks like that's the one I bled on. So we'll throw that in the garbage. Okay, the back of my 3x4s, you know, that looks really good too. But we've already used it, and that's not going to look great when we put it on the front. I must have been bleeding for a while here. There's some more I got to throw in the garbage. Or you can get some gold out of your stash like was mentioned, because that looks really good. Okay. And yeah, the plaid looks really good. Plaid. Again, this is where you're going to use basically what was in your stash. So for right this moment, I'm just going to cut a 4x6 piece. We're going to cut it down. I know gold would look fabulous in there, or silver, or plaid. Okay. What we're looking for is a good fit. That's not what I don't want to measure that one. So we're looking at 5.5. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this to 5.5. Oh, you guys, we're going to have to take it to 4.25. Yeah, I like the plaid, but I don't like wasting it. I'm so sorry. Where's the other piece I just cut? I know. I'm not going to dig through my scraps right this moment, because I don't want to. So 4.25 by 5.5. I don't want to hold you guys up. We've been on, I know, a long time. Not really though, just 2 hours. So 4.25 by 5.5 is a good fit. Yep, 4.25 by 5.5. Wonderful fit. Then we want to center this. And it's not perfectly centered, so you certainly can cut it down a little bit more if you want. We know that our back piece. Hi, Nicole, how are you? Okay, remember we cut this at 5.25. So I'm going to take it to 5 1/8, and then let's see if we can get to 5 inches over here. We certainly can, and there we go. So I cut it down to 5 inches on both sides. Oh, there we go. And I like that. Gives me more of the border with the red. Okay, I'm going to ink my edges, and I did not do this on the other one, but the sewing machine is out. I'm going to sew this and sew this part. Yes, your education has to come first. I remember those days when I was a nurse. I had to do my CEUs. Then we had child development, and I had to do more CEUs to keep up my childhood development degree. And so I'm like, does it ever end? No, it does not ever end. Okay. That's when I said, enough. I'm just going to craft the rest of my life. Okay, I am going to sew my edges. Sewing on paper, it makes me want to sing the song by Dolly Parton, Coat of Many Colors. That's what our Christmas album looks like. I love it. It's such a homespun album. Okay, sewing the edges. Now, I'm going to lay down my cloth here, and I keep my microfiber because I use it on my glasses. Even though there's a film, I'm just going to go ahead and clean it. And then, whoops, I'm going to check it for, even though, yeah, we're taking the film off, but I still just want to check. How about we do it from the right side? Okay, it is really, really a thin film. I mean, super thin. It reminds me of surgical and what you put over tattoos. Super, super thin. So no fingerprints, no fingerprints. This goes in. I'm not putting it in yet. We got to get our shakers in. What I'm doing is this and this. Now, because I put the backing, I don't worry about putting any score tape here. I want this here to put down. What's nice is your little shaker beads aren't going to come out. So what I do is leave that. We're going to put this down first. Pop this one up so you don't put it down. Okay, because that is what we're going to put. Let me show you. Oh, you know what? I did pop this up. I completely forgot. I popped this up on Pop Dots. Again, you don't have to. This can be put right down. So I needed to show you that both ways. Foam, tape. And I'm just going to use my waffle flour, but I do sell the others. You may have others. And we are going to, so I need to show you two things. The tape can come right off down to your book. Then I put my sprinkles in. Push that down. Or you can do it right now. Push that down and put this down onto your book. So if yours is going to be flat, you're just going to open this top, pour in your sprinkles, and put it down. If you want to put foam tape all along this back edge, then we are going to reverse this. You're going to reverse it this way. So now that the tape is on the inside and it's going to stick. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. And I found if I'm just going to stick it to the book, I put the tape the other way. Otherwise, it's going this way. Sprinkles in, And this is going to hold that down. And then I'm going to put foam tape all around so that it's going to be popped up. So either way is right. So since I'm going to do this, and put my foam tape on it. Now, if you don't have foam tape, but you want it popped up, cut yourself some strips of chipboard. They work just as well, and tape them on with your score tape. So, I do love the waffle flowers. We have these in the store. The waffle flowers foam strips. Look what you get. You get a ton, a ton. Okay. I want to just do my sides first. And I'll do the bottom. Check my orientation. You're going to have plenty of these left over. Okay. Like a little envelope here. I'm not going to seal it yet. I want to see what I think. Now, I like the static in there. They'll calm down too, but I like the static in there where it just places them everywhere. But if you don't, just pop it down. Dryer sheet, microfiber cloth. Because we've been messing with it. But look what you'll have left. You're going to have a ton left. So that's the nice thing. When you get a kit, you don't have to buy like add-ons. You don't have to buy extras. It's there. You've got plenty. So make sure it's down. And let's go ahead and take the plastic. Not the plastic. The cover to the back off. There we go. Kind of squish. And squishing the air. But what I really like about these is it does, look at, it's like a snow globe effect. You get that bubble. I just love it. You can put a lot in these things. Oh my gosh. And they come in a package of 5. And look how cute. Okay. Let's get our foam tape onto the back. And that's the other thing. Stuff is not going to come out. And we'll just kind of overlap the intersect in the corner there. They've made these like the perfect size. Oh, I need to tell you something too about waffle flower. I've learned a lot more about them with my sales rep. They donate some of their proceeds to multiple sclerosis. I'm like, okay, this is really great. I like giving back. I'm going to save this one. So I was happy to see that. And it's like, yes, I love supporting good causes. But my first love is the animals. You guys know that. I would give all my proceeds. Let's just get a bit and let's make an animal compound. I would love that. My husband, not so much, but I would. Animals, paper, and fabric. All right. I am doing here in the center so that, oops, because you need that support. Again, this can go flat on your book. But like I said, look at all this. You get a ton of these. And you won't have to worry about running out. Okay, do that again. You'd be right there with me. I know. Let's take care of the little baby animals. So cute. Looks like we're getting our Christmas. It looks like a little Christmas village. Well, yeah, with the houses, of course. Super cute. Yeah, my granddaughter she'll have her zoology degree next year. And it's going to be fun to see what she goes on to do because her love is animals also, but wild. She wants to do more of the wild. But that's okay. She can still take care of my animals. I'll just call up my vet, Lexi, and say, I need your help now. Okay. And I just eyeball centered it. We're getting there. We're getting there. How fun is this? Now, I want to grab from here. And so what I'm going to do, I really wish I had another box down here. I don't. Oh, I know. Hold on. My little Foxy will do. Okay, so I took this frame, and you could have put it down first, but I did not. So what I did is I laid it here and just kind of figured out where I need to cut it or where I wanted to cut it. Cut that off, and then I'll need to cut it off a little bit more. Nope, I got maybe one more. Oh, so if you're laying this flat, you do need to do this first. I do apologize, but if you're popping it up on foam tape, you have a space there. Okay, so it's already wanting to catch. Quit it. I'm not ready. It wants to grab. So I put the frame there just to give it a little dimension. Then we're going to have the Santa Claus and add a few more things. But let's go ahead and glue. And then you'll have this other half to use however you like. Like maybe throw on the floor. You could even see intersect, and it gives you a little more dimension there. I didn't do that on the other one, but I do like it. We'll see. Okay, now I want to grab my Santa Claus. And he is on your brads. Love the brads. And one thing I'm going to change. I did use, a lot of you had seen that I used the Heartfelt Creation numbers. I need to grab those too. We used them for something else. I cannot remember, but I used from the frames and tags the 25, but it's getting a little smushed there. So we could definitely back it. But I thought, we've got this 25. Yes, it's smaller, but it's still cute. And I do like that from the brad. So I think I'm going to use that. And right now, though, I want my Santa Claus. And I want the Be Merry. I'm turning them upside down, so we're going to put foam dots. And then I think that's all I use from here for the moment. And I want to add foam tape. We're going to have Santa Claus up here, kind of like depicting being on the roof. Okay. Just one strip of foam tape. Go up the center of my Santa. Maybe right here. And we want a piece here. Okay, pretty sticky stuff. And even though it's sticky stuff, I will add a little of the extra sticky stuff, right? So I put Santa up here at the top because that's where he belongs. Okay, be merry. And our sticker sheet has a green stocking on it. Right here. And again, especially since we're not going to use this till next year, we want the glue so that it does stay down. Okay. Time for the chipboards. Just take those out. So I took the red present up here at the top and the green one down here. And little prep work. Again, because these do not have the adhesive backing, which they did. And I'm so happy they did because they're made in USA. Oh, that's the other thing. I got to tell you guys. I learned about waffle flour because I ordered in I just ordered in a bunch more stuff from Waffle Flour, but basic supplies. Do you know their inks and their embossing ink, and I bought the refill for it, are made right here in the USA? Yeah, right here in the USA. So pretty happy about that. Okay, these guys are going to go here on the corner. You can overlap them or just kind of sit them next to each other, which is what I'll do. So anyway, I just learned a lot from my sales rep on waffle flour and super excited about it because I wanted to bring in a new, well, not a new, but a new, yeah, basically new and different. You may not have used the embossing inks. They're really fun, but we got the refills. So that is super cool, huh? I thought it was super cool. Okay, Christmas trees. We want the red Christmas tree from here and the green Christmas tree from here. And let's go ahead and punch out our Santa sleigh. And then after we get this cover all finished, we will break because I had, you guys want to keep crafting. I do too. So we're going to do the inside. And then that is it, except for I'll grab my numbers. And they are created with, I got to get these little nubbies off, with the Heartfelt Creations numbers die. Numbers, alphabets. And I used them on my last tutorial, which was, oh, you know what it was? It was my Prima when I did the waterfall album with the acrylic. So I went in and punched a whole bunch more because I really liked them. Okay. And, oh, we need the reindeer. Isn't the reindeer so cute? Well, it's Rudolph. Of course he's cute. He's adorable. Bringing in the sled. Now, right here, you could you have that red twine left over. And I do too. I did have. So what I did though, is I used a piece of that frame underneath there to kind of tie it together. You could definitely tie the red twine around here and bring it to the sled. And mine is not sitting right here, or I would. And I still can do that. I can grab a piece of red twine. Oh, wait. Did I throw it in the box? Let me grab a piece of twine. So I'll just use a piece of natural. And I will just tie it around Rudolph. It's pretty little. I'm going to attempt a bow. Okay. And if we can't, we're just going to attempt a knot. And then we'll make a bow and glue it on there. So that will be now a harness. I'll bring it down and around. But again, if you don't like to put a leash on your reindeer, you can definitely leave it off. Then I would glue that behind there, kind of make it wavy. Twine glues really well. And then we'll add some adhesive. See how cute? Okay, we glue down our sled. I'll glue down Rudolph here in a second. Get that glue off. And let's put our glue on Rudolph first. And a dot of glue on the paper for the lead. We'll call it a lead, not a leash. There we go. Then I'll make a pretty bow when I get my bow maker out, because we don't want it to look like he's being forced, right? You know, I'm just kidding. Okay, I like that. Cute. Then if you have the Heartfelt Creations, and I do have it in the store, and I do have more of the tags and dies coming. In fact, they may be there today. Anyway, here's your letters and numbers. This right here, I just love, and this one. And this is where I got the 2003 on the, I'll show it to you on the original album. I did cut some bigger ones out of green, but then I didn't like the green. And I'm not going to dig through them on camera with you because we would be here literally all day long. And we are going to be here all day long, right? So it'd be 2000. Yes, he needs a red bow on there. So I want to put 2. I used the bigger numbers. So I will have to cut some more. I might have them in here. I'll see. But I did use the bigger ones. This is the smaller. It comes with 2 sizes. And what you want to do is just take some time, or if you have a grandchild or a husband looking for something to do, you tell them, just start cutting. And they'll do all the work for you. Actually, the small ones look okay. We won't have to cut anymore. I just need that number 3. I wasn't going to do this, but I am doing it. I'm having what I call a Sally moment. We're just going to do it. There we go. See, See, here's the bigger letters. Oh, wait a minute. I did cut them out in the red with the, it's the red that is the paper. Oh, too little, can't see. Well, yeah, the brown is going to be kind of little too, but bigger ones. There's my bigger ones. My bigger ones are green. I cut them backwards. So I'm just going to lay them there. I will cut some bigger ones, and I do want to cut them out of the artisan cardstock because I like it. So again, you can use your your 2025. It's going to be in your frames and tags, and you just want to go ahead and you're going to have to dig through. It's the 25, and you have it in the frames and tags right there. Or you can use this 25 right there. And I'm going to use this because, like I mentioned, and I'll do my bigger letters. I mentioned that it kind of got beat up, the corners of it. So if you do use it, I would just glue it down. Don't pop it up like I did. Oops. I don't want to lose those. Okay, now our trees. So I have a tree right here. I wanted it to be like part of the scene. And then I have this tree. So it looks like it's in the backyard. Okay, this one's, they're just going down flat. 25 or 24. It's a 25. You mean that letter or the year? Okay, let's hold that for a moment. Let me pop that up. I did. So I did put foam tape on this. It can be any year you want. I'm going to do mine 2023 because it's going to be for this Christmas. Wendy, you're confusing me. Are we in 2023? We are. You could definitely make these for the years ahead. Okay, I do add my adhesive. Not a lot. It's very light. And the last thing was the ho, ho, ho. And I want to show you that too. So once again, see what happened? It's getting beat up when so I'm on the fence on adding that because it is getting kind of beat up. So we do need to add something over here. We do, but I'm not happy with the whole. I love the ho ho ho, but it's getting, like I said, smashed. So my other thoughts were one of these beautiful flowers, and I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to have the flowers instead. So the choice is yours. Again, this is from your ephemera pack, and then I backed it on black, but you can see how beat up it's getting. Kind of turn to this. See that how beat up it's getting? So I will be replacing that or doing something, but this one's mine, so I'm not so worried about it. And then we're going to go here with this. And that's why I never give my projects away, because I see those little boo-boos and then I'm like, no, no, no. I can't give that away because it's a mess. Let's add some greenery there. And I did not add anything to the hinge because I felt that was, but you certainly can. You're going to have plenty. Oh, you know what? In fact, we will probably wait until we're done to the inside, and these would look just adorable down the side. Yeah, a chipboard piece would be better, for sure. And you do have plenty of chipboard pieces. So yes, I would definitely replace that with something else. And now let's just go ahead and tie this shut, because its front is all done and the ribbon is underneath there. And we'll be doing the end. So that is where, oh my gosh, that's where we're at. We're getting there. And the only thing we have to do then is, so when we're going to take a break, I've been asked to keep going. You guys are excited to get it done, is we're going to do the insides. So just want to kind of give you a little heads up of what you need, and we're going to take a half-hour break and I'll be back. I am going to sew these. Okay. I'm going to sew these, and then you'll need those little pieces of red you should have left over. We wrapped around a book. So if you haven't made this booklet yet, don't, because you want to use the twine first. Then we're just going to go through. We're going to do the frame. We're going to do the rest of the decorating that we didn't do. And there is one piece. Oh, we've got to make a shaker frame. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that if you do not have anything to make the shaker with. So no worries, because we got to put that here. And we did this. So this is the original one. And so we need to do our ribbons. It really won't take us long. It's actually the fun part. And then we're done. We won't have to do any of this next week. We can start on something brand new. Okay, guys, then I will be back at, what time is it? Oh yeah, I'll be back. Let's just plan on 2 o'clock my time. Stepping on my paper again. 2 o'clock my time. And I'll see you then, and we'll do the inside cover.